everyone, Draco Magnius here for another episode of Let's Play Virtue's Last Reward. In the last episode, while we were leaving the security room, I realized we could probably use the security cameras to look up some information on certain events that happened. Unfortunately, all of that data was removed, but the Golem, decided to save up some information in his cache that we were able to investigate the murder of Luna, and it seems Clover's our prime suspect. But that doesn't exclude Dio or Kay from being the possible murderers, but it seems the most likely suspect is Clover, with Dio, in my opinion, at least being the second most likely candidate. But unfortunately, when we went back to the AB room, no one's around, so once again, we're looking for everyone. Again. Seems like that's a common theme of this game. Hey, where is everyone? Well, guess we better go looking. Anyway, let's continue our looking. We're exploring 1 and 2 of the crew quarters. Fi's got 3 and 4. Got it. Nothing was in 1. Alice. You know, I was gonna say, hey Alice, but that seemed a little loud, little tactless. Luna. The most horrible thing about death is how it turns a person into a thing. It's a thing that looks like your friend, but it's not them anymore. Just this strange, cold shell. And every time you look at it, you feel a little of that coldness creeping in around the edges of your soul. Seeing death puts a heavy ball of lead in your stomach. It just sits there, poisoning you. I turned and left the room. Guess he didn't have the stomach to look for anything.
No good.
I mean, that's fair. Like you said, it's not exactly the easiest thing to be looking around at corpses. Me personally, I would have thought about maybe looking at it, but I feel like maybe I would have also done the same thing as him and just, I can't stand looking at him like this.
There's no one in 3 or 4. What about yours?
Same. Nobody in them. Except Alice and Luna. The lead ball pressed against the inside of my abdomen. I leaned back against the wall and let out a long, weary sigh.
What's wrong? You need to get it together. What are we doing right now?
Looking for the others.
Right. I know how you feel, but sitting around being miserable isn't going to help anybody. Let's go.
She's right. Of course she's right, but... Yeah, you're right. Fi turned and headed towards the door at the far end. I heaved myself off the wall and followed. The infirmary. Another room we could look into possible evidence. What the fuck?! The first thing I felt was that strange cold sweat of terror. My stomach clenched in protest, pushing a wave of bile and nausea into my throat. The lead ball turned to ice, and my legs began to tremble under its weight before they finally gave way and collapsed. They were dead. I could feel it the moment I looked at them, but I didn't want to believe it. They couldn't be dead. Perhaps they were just sleeping. The cool, limp feel of their skin under my shaking fingers dashed any hope I had left. I wrapped a trembling hand around the end of the bed and hauled myself up onto it. Even when I closed my eyes, I could still see them. My heart hammered away at my ribs, and my chest felt so tight I could barely breathe. I forced myself to take long, deep breaths. Finally, I opened my eyes.
They were in a blind spot.
What?
The security camera. Remember how we didn't see anything in the real-time feed in the security room?
Yeah? I guess the partition was in the way.
Yeah.
They're handcuffed together.
Yeah. Whoever did this really didn't want them going anywhere. The chain's been looped around the pipe below the sink.
They would have been trapped here when the doors closed. Why?
Look. See the red marks on their wrists? They were trying to get the handcuffs off.
So you're saying it wasn't one of them that did this? Why would they? If one of them wanted to murder the other one by keeping them locked here, why would they lock themselves here too? That just doesn't make sense.
Probably not.
What the fuck? There's a cut on Tenmyoji's left hand. Looks like it's probably from a knife or something similar. Must have been deep.
Then the blood on his clothes probably came from that wound. I don't see any others, at least. If this was the only one, it doesn't look fatal. I don't think he died from this cut.
Maybe he was trying to use his blood to lubricate the cuff a little bit so he could slide his hand through, or at least attempt to do that. The penalty. The primary doors closed. They couldn't get to them. The needles in their bracelets activated and...
Yeah. You can see the marks on their wrists from where they were injected. The tubocurarine must have killed them.
Do you think that's why they were handcuffed to the sink?
They wouldn't have been able to get through the white doors without Quark. If someone wanted to use the penalty to kill them, they didn't need to tie them up.
Yeah, you've got a point. What's wrong?
I take back what I just said.
You find something?
Yeah.
Phi bent down to pick something up and handed it to me. A cyan bracelet. This was Quark's!
Correct. It has 9 BP, too. There's no mistake.
Yeah. What is Quark's bracelet doing here? Wait, no. Hold on. If Quark's bracelet is here, then... that means...
Your heart stops. Your bracelet comes off.
Huh. That was slower than it normally is. Oh. Oh. This can't be happening. Not Quark.
Hey, Sigma. Calm down. Just because his bracelet's off doesn't mean Quark's dead.
But...
In fact, this could be good news. A ray of hope.
ray of hope?
Yeah. If Quark still had his bracelet on, then he would have ended up like Tenmyoji and Clover. But he's not wearing it. That means he might have managed to avoid getting injected with tubocurarine.
You mean the bracelet came off before the doors closed?
Yeah.
That's impossible. Zero Jr. told us they only come off when your heart stops, or when you escape.
Maybe he got out then.
Maybe he found a way to make his heart rate 0. And then, you know, go back to stable. There are the beds in the treatment room, but I don't think in this timeline we're aware of them. Right. He's got 9 BP, but why would it be here if he left, too? That's the other thing. Wait, so you're saying he escaped, then came back and left his bracelet here? No, that's impossible, too. Zero Jr. said the number 9 door only opens once. Even if he was able to get outside, he couldn't come back in.
Why do you have to be so pessimistic? Have you actually seen Quark dead, huh? You need to think positive, Sigma. Reality is what we believe it to be.
I mean, that's fair. Reality is merely a perception, a cognition of what one person believes. Someone's reality might be different from another person's, depending on certain situations. Granted, a lot of people share similar things in their realities, but reality can be fickle and change. Really? So you're saying this is what we wanted to happen?
That's enough! Quark is definitely alive. He has to be. He has to be. I refuse to believe he isn't. I can't let an innocent kid like that get killed.
I wanted to ask if she meant Clover and Tenmyoji weren't innocent, and had deserved to die, but I swallowed my words. Fighting wasn't going to help us. All I could do was hope that Phi was right. Perhaps Quark was still alive. What are you doing?
Examining their bodies. Tenmyoji first.
Why?
Clues.
What kind of clues?
To who might have killed them. Finding Quark's bracelet tells us something. If the killer saw it, that would make for an obvious motive.
With Quark's bracelet, Clover and Tenmyoji would have been able to go through the white doors. The killer handcuffed them to the sink to prevent that.
Right. That's my guess, at least. That's odd.
What's wrong?
I can't find anything.
Huh?
I should have found something.
What?
You remember when we ran into Tenmyoji in the rec room? He sprayed our wrists with luminol. I'm sure I saw him pull the spray bottle out of his pocket.
And now you can't find it.
Right.
Okay, it makes Dio a likely culprit for this murder then, because he's well aware of what luminol does. Do you think the killer took it?
I don't know. I'm gonna take a look at Clover, too. Give me a minute.
Phi knelt down next to Clover as she spoke and began to gingerly examine her corpse. Then after a moment, I saw her hands stop.
Look. See your thigh? Doesn't it look like there's something written there?
I don't know, I can't see from here. Yeah, it does. I guess it does.
I'm sorry, I'll have to move your leg a little bit.
910? Or 016, depending on how you look at it. It's written in blood. It must be Tenmyoji's.
It says 016.
What is this? What does that mean?
Hang on. I feel like I've seen that somewhere.
Have you? I mean, you might have, and I'm forgetting, but...
016. 016. I know I've seen it somewhere. It's no use. Can't remember.
Don't get my hopes up like that.
Anyway, these numbers have to have something to do with the killer. She must have written them after she got hit with a soparil.
No, that doesn't make sense. I was thinking maybe that upside down it's Dio or something, but it doesn't look anything like a D, no matter how you look at it. I mean, if you mirror reflected it, maybe. But even then, I mean, that's a lot. Why would you make a mirror-reflected image on her own thigh when she could just write it out on her thigh?
There would have been a few minutes before she went all the way under when she could have done something. I think she probably used those last minutes to tell the rest of us who killed her.
016, huh? Maybe, but the only person who could have done it are Kay and Dio. Assuming it wasn't one of them. One of us, I mean.
No. There's also Quark. I mean, I'm not saying he did it, just...
I suppose it's a possibility. Damn it. This is hopeless. I can't keep up anymore. Everything here is a goddamn mystery! Like, what about that old woman we found? Who killed her? The movement of the AP room makes Luna seem like the most suspicious. But when would she have done it? And we don't have a good explanation for why she would have wrapped the knife up in the handkerchief. And of course, now Luna's dead too. So who could have killed her? The footage from the security camera paired with Dio's behavior makes Clover seem like the most likely suspect. But now we'll never know for sure. Alice's killer's a complete mystery. We don't know what the hell 016 is supposed to mean. We don't have any idea where Quark's gone. What the hell does any of this mean? Who killed everyone? Was it Zero? Zero Senior? Who is Zero Senior? What the hell does he want? Why does this game even exist? Why did they kidnap us and bring us here? While we're at it, where is this? When is this? Mysteries. 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 I feel like my head's going to explode. Please, fly! Give me something! Anything! A clue! A hint! Come on, you've got to have something!
The luminol.
Huh?
I think there's a very good chance someone took the spray bottle out of Tenmyoji's pocket.
Okay, but how is that important?
Well, let me ask you this. Why do you think they took it?
Well, again, my theory is that they didn't want people using it to discover who the killer of the old woman was. So they could test for blood?
What would they need to do in order to do that?
They just needed to spray the bottle and whatever they want to test.
That's it?
No, wait, you're right. Luminol reacts with organic compounds and glows, but the glow is really faint. So you need to make it dark. You have to turn off the lights in order to see if anything is glowing.
And that would mean?
That would mean... the rec room! Fi and I raced for the door. We weren't sure what we'd find, but we knew where we were going. I had a feeling deep in my gut that whatever we found would be the breakthrough I'd been looking for.